In the heart of an endless forest, beyond rivers that twist like serpents, there once lived a people untouched by time. Their faces bore no wrinkles. Their bones knew no weakness. Their eyes held no shadows of age. They were known only by whispers. The village where no one grew old. But every blessing demanded a sacrifice. And the price for eternal youth was paid in silence, blood, and memory. Long ago, during the reign of the old kingdoms, when masquerade still walked freely at night and the spirits of the land listened closely to the footsteps of mortals, there lived a young hunter named Obina, son of a respected but aging farmer from the village of Ogweshi. Obina was known for three things: his courage, his stubbornness, and his refusal to accept the ordinary. From childhood, he felt a strange pull toward the unknown corners of the world. While other boys learned to tend goats or carve wood, Obina wandered deep into forest, chasing stories the elders warned him never to seek. But life humbled him early. His mother fell ill with a sickness no healer could name. Her skin grew thin, her voice cracked, and her breath shortened. Obina watched the vibrant woman who once carried firewood on her head fade slowly like smoke. One night, as she strained to breathe, she whispered, "My son, find the place where time sleeps. They say there is a village where no one grows old. If you find them, maybe they will know how to help me." Obina held her hand tightly, promising. But she closed her eyes before sunrise. After her burial, grief became a stone in his chest. His father grew weaker from sadness, neighbors came to help, but the house felt hollow. One evening, while packing his mother's belongings, Obina found an old folded cloth hidden beneath her wooden box. Inside was a faded charcoal drawing of towering trees arranged in a perfect circle. Below it, written in trembling ink, Oraifyuf, the village kept by the wind of time. The same name from childhood stories. The same forbidden place elders warned about. Children said the villagers never aged. Adults said anyone who went there never returned. The priest said the spirits guarded the place fiercely. But the drawing felt familiar, as though his mother's fingers had held it often. For the first time, Obina understood. She knew something about the village. Something she had kept hidden. Something she wanted him to discover. With his father growing frail and the farmland suffering from drought, Obina decided he had nothing left to lose. At dawn, he strapped on his hunting bag, tied a machete to his waist, and carried a goatskin water pouch. Before leaving, he knelt by his father's bedside. "I will return," he promised. With answers. His father only nodded, old eyes heavy with both fear and hope. As Obina stepped beyond the village gates and entered the vast forest, a strange wind brushed his cheek, as though the world itself was exhaling. The journey had begun. The forest was alive with whispers. The elders always said that the deeper one traveled, the more the spirits paid attention. Every rustle of leaves became a reminder that the world was listening. Obina walked for days, following only his instincts and the crude map sketched by his mother. The land changed as he moved, trees grew taller, their trunks wider than 12 men standing side by side. Strange flowers glowed at dusk, their petals trembling even when there was no wind. On the fourth day, he reached a stream unlike any he had ever seen. Its water shone silver under the sunlight, and fish swam in spirals, creating patterns too perfect to be natural. He knelt to drink but stopped. The reflection staring back at him was not entirely his. His face looked slightly older, only by a few months, but enough to unsettle him. He blinked. The reflection corrected itself. A sign. He continued onward, increasingly aware that he was being watched. The forest seemed to bend around him, guiding him in one direction. Birds perched on branches, unafraid. Sometimes they followed him, singing shrill warnings. At night, Obina made camp and lit a small fire. But on the sixth night, he felt a presence behind him. When he turned, he saw an old woman wearing a wrapper of dried leaves and a necklace of tiny bones. Her eyes were milky white. She did not walk, she drifted. Obina's hand went to his machete. She raised a finger. Do not fear me, child of Ogweshi. Her voice sounded like two people speaking at once. Are you human? Obina asked, heart pounding. She smiled, revealing sharp, blackened teeth. Once, long ago. But time has touched me differently. She pointed at the drawing in his hand. You seek Oreifuf. The village where time sleeps. Obina hesitated. Yes. I must find it. She circled him slowly. Many who seek it desire youth. Others crave immortality. But you carry grief. And a question. Obina swallowed. Will they help me? The woman's face darkened. That depends on what you are willing to give. What must I give? She leaned close, her breath cold. Everything. Before he could speak further, she turned into a gust of dust and leaves, blown away by an invisible wind. Obina stood still, trembling. But he did not turn back. On the seventh day, Obina found the place from his mother's drawing, a perfect circle of 12 colossal trees, each as thick as a hut and taller than any palm he had seen. Their branches intertwined, forming a dome that blocked out the sky entirely. The air inside the circle felt heavy, like a held breath. Obina stepped forward cautiously. The moment he crossed the boundary, the world fell silent. No birds. No wind. No insects. Only the deep, resonant sound of his own heartbeat. At the center of the circle stood a single stone pillar, smooth, white, carved with symbols he didn't understand. When he touched the stone, it vibrated gently, as though alive. Suddenly, the ground beneath him trembled. The 12 trees twisted, rotating in place. Their roots burrowed deeper into the earth, and the canopy parted slightly, letting in a shaft of golden light. A voice whispered from all directions. Child of time, step forward. Obina felt his legs move on their own, pulling him into the beam of light. His chest tightened. His vision blurred. He felt weightless, like drifting between sleep and waking. When the light faded, he found himself standing in a different world. A village. Quiet. Beautiful. Suspended in eternal sunrise. The light seemed to glow from the very air. Obina stared around in awe. The houses were made of smooth stone. The air smelled of fresh rain. And every person who walked past him looked perfect. No wrinkles. No scars. No gray hairs. The eyes sparkled with unnatural brightness. A woman carrying a basket paused beside him. She appeared to be in her early 20s, radiant, graceful, almost too perfect to be real. You are a traveler, she said warmly. We do not receive many. Obina lowered his gaze politely. My name is Obina. I seek knowledge. The woman smiled. Then you have come to the right place. Welcome to Oreifuf. He exhaled in relief. It was real. His mother had been right. But beneath the woman's smile, Obina sensed something strange, something masked. The villagers moved gracefully, but their footsteps made no sound. Their breathing seemed too slow. Their expressions too controlled. Even the children playing nearby moved with unnatural coordination. Obina felt eyes watch him from every direction. Then a tall man stepped forward. His skin was flawless, and his face held the calm authority of a leader. I am Elder Nokazi, he said, bowing slightly. One of the keepers of this village. You are welcome here. Obina bowed back. I seek a cure. A way to stop aging, to save someone I've lost. Nokazi studied him carefully. In our village, he said softly, time does not wound us. But every gift has a price. He placed a firm hand on Obina's shoulder. You may stay with us. You may eat our food. You may learn our ways. But first, you must understand our truth. Obina nodded. I am ready. Nwokozi smiled faintly, too faintly. No, he said. You are not. Obina stayed in Ora-Ifu for 5 days, and during that time, he experienced both awe and dread. The village was impossibly peaceful. No one argued. No one seemed unhappy. No one rushed. No one slept. At night, the villagers simply sat in meditation, their eyes shining faintly in the moonlight. Obina mimicked them, but he still needed sleep. He felt out of place. The villagers treated him kindly, too kindly. They offered food that tasted unfamiliar yet delicious. They gave him a house that felt eerily untouched. Young men taught him to fish in glass-clear lakes. Young women showed him ancient herbs. But still, no one aged. No one changed. No one even yawned. On the 3rd day, while exploring near the river, Obina noticed something strange, a boy standing perfectly still, staring at the water. When Obina approached, the boy did not blink. Are you all right? Obina asked. The boy turned his head slowly, almost mechanically. Yes, he said with a smile too wide. We are always all right. A chill ran through Obina's spine. Later that night, he followed the villagers during their rest hour. They gathered at the village center, surrounding a tall stone monument. They placed their hands on it, and a pulse of light transferred from their palms into the stone. Obina watched, disturbed. It looked like they were giving something away. Nwokozi approached him calmly. You are not required to participate, he said. Not yet. Obina swallowed. What are they doing? Maintaining balance, the elder answered. We give the land what it requires so that it gives us what we desire. That answer only deepened the mystery. Then, on the 5th night, Obina discovered the truth. Sleep eluded Obina. Every night in the village felt like dreaming with his eyes open. So he wondered. Tonight, he walked toward a hill overlooking the village. The moon was bright, lighting the world with silver. But then he heard it. A faint sound. A weeping sound. He followed it. At the base of the hill, hidden behind thick vines, Obina discovered a cave entrance. A dim glow came from within, pulsing softly. He hesitated. But curiosity pulled him closer. Inside, he saw a sight that froze his blood. People, about 20 of them, sat chained to the wall. Their bodies were aged. Weak. Shriveled. Their hair gray. Their skin wrinkled. Their eyes dim. They looked like they had been aging rapidly, as if each year of their life struck them all at once. A woman among them opened her eyes weakly. Help us, she whispered. Obina rushed forward, horrified. What happened to you? Why are you here? She grabbed his wrist with bony fingers. We were once villagers, she said. We lived in the beauty you see above. But immortality is borrowed, not earned. Obina's throat tightened. What do you mean? Her voice cracked as she spoke. The village stays young, by taking our years. Every day, every month, every second, they draw life from us and feed it to themselves. Obina stepped back in disbelief. How? Why? She pointed to a large stone slab in the center of the cave. It pulsed faintly, as though breathing. That stone is the heart of the village, she whispered. All youth comes from it. But youth is not created, it is taken. From us. Obina's mind raced. They were feeding off these prisoners. Stealing their time. Their lives. His stomach twisted. Why don't they let you go? He asked. Her eyes filled with tears. No one leaves Ora-Ifu, she croaked. The moment you enter, the village binds your spirit. If you refuse the ritual, they drain you. Obina felt cold from head to toe. He stumbled back and nearly tripped over a pile of bones in the corner. Those who died from the draining. Before he could process the horror, a familiar voice echoed from behind him. You were not meant to see this. Obinna turned sharply. Elder Nokazi stood at the entrance of the cave, his face calm, his eyes glowing faintly. You have discovered our burden, the elder said. And now, you must choose. Nokazi stepped forward, his footsteps silent on the cave floor. You misunderstand us, Obinna, he said softly. We do not kill these people. They kill themselves. Obinna clenched his fist. How? They refuse to join us, Nokazi replied. They refuse the ritual. They refuse balance. Every mortal brings a certain amount of time into the world. When they come here, that time must be shared. Obinna stared at the elder. Shared? You mean stolen? Nokazi sighed. You mortals cling so desperately to the idea of fairness. But the world was never fair. Time is a gift unevenly given. We merely redistribute it. He placed a hand on the stone slab. Join us, Obinna. You will never age. You will never lose strength. You will live in peace. Obinna shook his head slowly. And if I refuse? Nokazi's smile faded. Then your years will be used to strengthen us. Obinna stepped protectively between the elder and the drained prisoners. No. Nokazi's glowing eyes fixed on him. You came seeking a miracle. You came seeking to undo death. But miracles are not free. Obinna clenched his jaw. What did you do to my mother? Did she come here before? Nokazi paused. Yes, he said quietly. Your mother knew this place. She once sought the same answers. Obinna's heart pounded. What happened to her? She refused the ritual as well. Obinna felt weak. No, she would never. She refused, Nokazi repeated. But she escaped. She fled before the village bound her fully. She was the only one ever to run away. Obinna's breath caught. And the sickness that killed her. Nokazi looked him in the eyes. The price of escape. Obinna stumbled backward. His mother had traded her life so he could live. She had sacrificed her years. She had paid the price for disobedience. Nokazi stepped forward. You see now? Your destiny brought you here. Her unfinished part ends with you. No, Obinna whispered. Yes, the elder said. Either join us, or replace her. Obinna knew then that he would not live without a fight. He grabbed his machete, and Nokazi sighed sadly. You cannot harm me, child. He raised his hand. A gust of wind slammed Obinna into the cave wall. The villagers of Orefuf began to appear behind the elder, moving in eerie synchronization, their eyes glowing brighter. They surrounded Obinna slowly. The elder lifted his fingers. Your time is valuable, Obinna. It will sustain us for many years. The stone slab paused. Energy began pulling toward Obinna, draining warmth from his skin. He felt his life slipping. His strength weakening. His breath shortening. The prisoner screamed. Run, the woman shouted. Break the stone. Destroy the heart. The stone. Yes. Obinna forced himself to stand. His bones ached as if he was aging by the second. His hair began turning gray. His skin tightened painfully. But he lifted his machete. And with the last strength in his body, he swung it down. Straight into the pulsing stone. Crack! The cave shook violently. The stone screamed, an unnatural, piercing sound. The villagers clutched their heads. Their illusion of youth flickered, revealing glimpses of their true aged forms. Obinna struck again. Crack! Light burst outward. Nokazi screamed. Stop! You do not understand. But Obinna's mother's face flashed in his mind, weak, dying, whispering for him to find answers. He swung one final time. Shatter! The stone exploded into shards of blinding light. Time itself unraveled. The villagers collapsed, screaming as age flooded into their bodies all at once. Their perfect skin wrinkled. Their hair turned white. Their backs bent. The drained prisoners gasped as stolen years returned to them, their bodies healing slowly. Nwokazi staggered toward Obinna, now an ancient man. "You fool," he whispered. "You have doomed us all." Obinna fell to his knees, chest heaving, his breath shallow. But he smiled weakly. "I freed you." The moment the stone shattered, the forest outside roared awake. The trees shook violently. Thunder cracked across the sky. The dome of the village flickered like dying fire. Oraifyuf, the ageless paradise, began collapsing. Houses turned to dust. Rivers evaporated. Streets crumbled. The villagers screamed as centuries of age caught up with them in seconds. Some collapsed into ash where they stood. Only a handful survived, the ones who had been drained, not sustained. One of them, a woman named Adiz, helped Obinna to his feet. "You saved us," she whispered. Obinna's body was frail, his hair completely white. But he still stood. "We must live," he whispered. Together, they and the surviving prisoners climbed out of the cave. The forest parted for them, recognizing that the village had fallen. But as they walked, Obinna stumbled. His body was too old. Too drained. Adiz held him. "You cannot die here," she said desperately. Obinna smiled faintly. "My time was well spent." "No. Please." He placed his hand on hers. "Take the survivors to my village," he whispered. "Tell them what happened. Tell them, my mother was brave." Adiz shook her head in tears. "You will be remembered," she whispered. Obinna's eyes softened. "That is enough." He took one last breath. One last look at the world. And then the wind carried him away. Adiz and the others returned to Ogweshi with the truth. The people mourned Obinna deeply, calling him the hunter who broke time. His father wept but held pride in his son's bravery. The survivors of Oraifyuf were given homes, food, and care. They told stories of what happened so that no one would ever seek the forbidden village again. And deep in the forest, where the village once stood, only one thing remained, a faint whisper in the wind. A warning. A memory. A reminder that immortality always has a price. The forest slowly reclaimed the land, covering the ruins of what was once believed to be paradise. But legends say that if you walk deep enough into the wilderness on a quiet night, you may still hear the faint crack of a stone shattering. Or the whisper of a hunter who gave his life to free the world from timeless captivity.